Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive. We're diving into a hand-picked collection of AI news from September 18th, 2024. And for all of you hooked on the future of tech, let me tell you, this one's a doozy. Seriously, trying to keep up with AI news is like, well, you know that saying about drinking from a fire hose? Yeah, that's
It's a lot to process, that's for sure.
totally. But that's why we're here to cut through the noise and bring you the most fascinating, thought-provoking, can't-miss AI breakthroughs. And to help us unpack it all, I'm joined by, well, they're kind of like AI whisperer, always a step ahead of the curve, spotting the friends before they even become, well, trends.
I wouldn't say that, but I do find this field unbelievably fascinating.
Exactly. So let's just jump right in, shall we? We're talking headlines from the Daily Chronicle that, well, let's just say they made me do a double take. First up, Snap. They've teamed up with OpenAI and released these new AR glasses. Get this AI-powered features, all for $99 a month. Imagine lenses that not only overlay information on your world, but actually let you interact with apps, hands-free, while you're, just out living your life.
The possibilities are incredible when you think about
Right.
it.
And then there's Neuralink, always making headlines. Their blindside implant just snagged FDA breakthrough status. Now, hold your horses. It's not a cure for blindness, not yet at least, but it's a huge leap in neural tech that has everyone wondering what's next.
It really makes you think about where we're headed.
Totally. Oh, this one really blew my mind. Runway. The AI video generation gurus, they've partnered with Lionsgate. Hollywood's dipping their toes into the generative AI waters. And it's making waves, let me tell you. What does it mean for the future of filmmaking? More AI-generated content. What about writers, actors, the whole shebang? Definitely something to keep an eye on, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. The implications are huge.
Okay, so before we get totally lost in this avalanche of AI news, let's shift gears for a second, take a closer look at a couple of stories that, well, they really piqued my interest. Okay, so those Snap AR glasses. With the AI-powered lenses and like the whole sleek design thing, I've got to admit I'm kind of geeking out about them. I was checking out articles on CNET and Technology Review.
And definitely more than just a gimmick.
Right, it's not just about overlaying information. It's the whole interacting with apps, using gestures, all while, still being present in the real world. It's like they're blurring the lines between, I don't
The
know.
digital and physical.
Exactly. And then, get this, Snap's developing their own operating system for these glasses, Snap OS.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking about that article we talked about earlier about 1X and their world model. That AI simulator designed to help robots actually understand the real world, like how we do. So I'm picturing this, right? You combine 1X's world model with Snap's AR glasses.
You're talking about a whole new level of augmented reality, one where AI isn't just present, it's actually interacting with and learning from the environment in real time.
And that's exactly where it gets really interesting, because now we're talking about embodied AI, which is a huge shift. I mean, for so long, AI has primarily existed in that digital realm, right? Processing data, generating text, creating images. But embodied AI, that's AI that can actually move around and manipulate objects in the physical world. It can, have a physical presence.
It's like we're not just asking AI to describe a chair anymore. We're asking it to go get us one from the other room, navigating a messy house, just like we do.
And think about the implications. In healthcare, robots with that kind of dexterity could be assisting with complex surgeries. Or even in search and rescue, AI-powered robots could be navigating dangerous environments, sending back real-time information to human responders. The possibilities are
Mind-blowing, but it also feels a little, I don't know, Black Mirror-ish. Like what are the downsides we need to be thinking about as this technology keeps advancing?
Well, you're hitting on a crucial point. As we move towards this idea of embodied AI, we're essentially giving machines a level of autonomy and agency in the physical world that we haven't really grappled with before. It raises serious questions about safety, control, the potential impact on human jobs, even the very structure of society as we know it. These are questions we need to be asking ourselves right now proactively before it's too late.
Totally. It makes you wonder, are we on the verge of this amazing future where AI seamlessly integrates into our lives, making things easier, more efficient? Or are we, I don't know, maybe sleepwalking into a future where we haven't fully thought through the consequences?
I don't think it has to be one or the other, but I do think that being aware of those potential pitfalls is the first step towards ensuring that we're shaping this technology in a way that benefits humanity as a whole.
I love that. Okay, so speaking of navigating complex landscapes, let's shift gears a bit and talk about another big theme that emerged from today's news: AI and the law. specifically the challenges around data privacy. We came across that story about LinkedIn, how they've been using their users' data to train their AI algorithms, and apparently their whole approach to transparency with users hasn't exactly been, well,
Forthcoming.
that's a good way to put it. It seems like that old move fast and break things mentality from the Wild West days of the internet is, I don't know, maybe making a comeback in the age of AI.
And it's not just LinkedIn. It's indicative of a much broader struggle within the tech industry as a whole. These AI systems, they're data-hungry beasts, right? They need massive amounts of data to learn and improve, but so often that data belongs to users who might not fully understand how it's being used or even if their privacy is being protected.
Exactly. And that leads perfectly into the next story about California implementing these new laws to protect actors from having AI clones of themselves created without their consent.
Which is a fascinating concept in itself, right? Like, imagine having the legal right to prevent someone from creating a digital replica of you.
Yeah, it's like something out of science fiction. And they're even giving these laws specific bill numbers, AB 2602 and
Yep.
AB 1836, so people can look them up if they're interested.
It's interesting because it forces us to confront this question of what likeness actually means in our digital age. Is it simply our image, our voice? Or is it something more, something less tangible? There are no easy answers.
It's true. It reminds me of Garry Kasparov, the chess grandmaster, you remember? The one who famously lost to Deep Blue back in '97.
How could I forget? That was a pivotal moment.
Totally. And it sparked all this fear about AI dominance. But here's the thing, Kasparov himself, he doesn't see AI as this threat to humanity. In fact, he's a big advocate for human-AI collaboration.
He's talked about how he sees AI as a tool, something to augment our abilities, not replace us entirely.
Exactly. He even used a supercomputer to win a match of advanced chess once, proving that this whole collaborative approach can actually be incredibly effective.
He makes a compelling argument. Maybe instead of fearing the rise of machines, we should be focusing on how to work alongside them, leveraging their strengths to enhance our own.
I love that perspective. It's like instead of a battle between humans and AI, it's more of a, I don't know, a dance,
Yeah.
a partnership.
Exactly. Just as Kasparov used AI to elevate his chess game, these legal and ethical challenges we're discussing, they're forcing us to reevaluate our values and think critically about how we can shape a future where humans and AI can coexist, collaborate, and hopefully thrive together. It's a conversation that's only going to become more important as this technology continues to evolve.
Absolutely. It feels like we're all kind of engaged in this global game of AI chess, figuring out the best moves as we go. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's take a quick breather and then dive into a few more of the fascinating developments from the world of AI. Ready for a rapid fire round? Okay, so Google's been busy. They've created this thing, Notebook LM, and it can turn your documents into podcasts. Like, for real.
That's wild. How does that even work?
Right. So say you've got this dense research paper, right? You just feed it to Notebook LM, and it spits out a podcast, complete with AI hosts, breaking it all down in a way that's, actually enjoyable to listen to.
So it's like having a personal tutor for all those times you wish you could just absorb information through osmosis or something.
Exactly. Especially for those of us who, maybe learn better by listening than reading. Oh, and speaking of how AI learns, did you catch that research on SciTech Daily about how AI memory is starting to function more and more like the human brain?
I saw that. It's amazing, right? It's not just about storing data anymore. It's about how these systems are actually starting to recall and apply information in a way that's like eerily similar to our own cognitive processes.
Right. It's like the more we learn about AI, the more those lines between, artificial and biological, they just kind of
Blur.
exactly. And for anyone listening who's feeling, I don't know, maybe a little inspired to dive deeper into all this AI stuff, NVIDIA's got your back. They're offering free courses through their Deep Learning Institute.
Oh.
Yeah, and they cover a ton of ground, from like the basics of AI all the way up to some seriously advanced concepts. Like they've even got a course on building art agents with LLMs.
Oh, yes, our RAG agents. Those are all about giving large language models access to external data sources so they can actually, pull in relevant information from the real world.
See, you make it sound so simple. But seriously, it seems like understanding these advancements, even just at a high level, is becoming more and more crucial these days. Which kind of makes me think about, I don't know, did any particular trend stand out to you from all the news we talked about today?
Well, one thing that really struck me was this kind of unspoken race to build the infrastructure of the future.
Oh, that's interesting. How so?
Well, think about it. We talked about Microsoft and BlackRock investing $100 billion in AI data centers. That's a massive investment, right? And then there's NVIDIA offering free training courses.
Right, right.
It all points to this growing demand for AI expertise, for the physical spaces and the digital tools that are going to power this AI-driven future. And that raises some interesting questions about, who ultimately controls and benefits from all of this.
It's like we're laying the groundwork for this AI-powered future, but we're still figuring out the blueprints as we go. And the stakes are high, right? I mean, are we building a future where AI empowers everyone, or one where the benefits are concentrated in the hands of, a select few?
Exactly. And that's the question I'd like to leave everyone with today. As we continue to explore the exciting and sometimes overwhelming world of AI, let's not forget to ask those tough questions about ethics, access, and the kind of future we want to create with this incredibly powerful technology. Because ultimately, the future of AI isn't predetermined. It's something we're actively shaping through our choices and actions every single day.
Such a powerful thought, and a huge thank you to you for sharing your insights and expertise with us today. It's been, well, enlightening to say the least.
It's been a pleasure.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon to explore more of the ever-evolving, always fascinating world of AI. Until then, stay curious.